I'm not entirely sure what it is about Vietnam, but we've been here for nearly 6 weeks now. We spent 3 weeks in the south as well as 3 weeks in the north. We will end on the central coast, but when I'm here, I feel a bit low energy. I feel like I look more sickly, and I think it really comes down to three things. One of the first reasons I can think of is the air quality. We are currently here in Ninh Bình, that is in northern Vietnam, and this is a clear sunny day, and as you can see, it looks foggy, I suppose, or smoggy, and the truth is, I believe it's a combination of several factors. One, there is a lot of moisture in the air, and so the area is prone to fog or heavy air, and then you mix that with pollutants in the air from some of the bigger cities, as well as the burning that goes on. So there's a lot of burning that's done all over Southeast Asia, not just Vietnam, especially this time of year. People will burn the plants, the trees, as well as just their rubbish, and so all of that mixes in the air, and I believe it can make it really challenging if you're here for a prolonged period of time and not accustomed to it. Even this morning we were out just having a nice morning walk, which is what we tend to do, and I started sneezing nonstop, probably 20 times in a row, and so that is my body trying to keep something out, something from entering. And so if you are somebody who is really prone to respiratory issues, just make sure that you're taking whatever precautions you can, whether that's wearing a mask, bringing an inhaler if you have asthma, and just keeping your face covered as much as possible might help. The second thing, and it's a big thing for me, is I have found it challenging to eat healthy, nutrient-dense meals since I've been in Vietnam, and I'm sure somebody's gonna come for me because a lot of people really love the food in Vietnam. I've just found it to be a bit more challenging. I choose not to eat meat, dairy, eggs, seafood, and so that tends to exclude a lot of options for me. That is my choice. I 100% own that. That being said, I've not found it challenging in any of the other 6 countries we've been in Southeast Asia to find really healthy meals, good curries, a lot of fruits and vegetables, whereas here I feel like most of the meals are fried. They are maybe lacking in a lot of vegetables, and the thing is that there's also a lot of simple carbohydrates. So pretty much every meal is noodles or rice or a banh mi, and I'm not saying they're not delicious and that they don't taste really good, but I do feel like I'm not getting enough to fuel my body, so that's been a struggle for me. That being said, if you are in a bigger city or in a more touristy place, you can find places to go. More Western places where you can get a nice smoothie bowl, you can get a salad. We do tend to try to eat more in the local shops along the side of the road. We love kind of getting in there, but it tends to be just a bit more limiting for me. So if you are somebody who may also prefer not to eat meat, or maybe you have some dietary restrictions, then you might want to consider some supplements or figuring out how to get enough nutrients while you're here in Vietnam. The third reason I feel like I might not be looking and feeling my best right now is just due to lack of sleep. One, that occurs when you're moving around all the time. We haven't been back in our bed back home for 9 months now, and I'm sure we can all relate that when you go on vacation, it's lovely, it's nice, but there's just nothing like your own bed. So, we've gone without that for a while. In Vietnam especially, I struggle with the noise and with the light, and that's not me judging. It's just, it is what it is, right? I knew that Vietnam was a louder place, and it makes it a little harder for me to sleep. Even if you have a beautiful room, a lot of the hotels are on the roads like that, and so A lot of motorbike traffic, a lot of car traffic, and a lot of the honking that can go on all day and all night. So it's just little things. They're outside of my control, but after a sustained period of time, I think it does tend to have a little bit of an impact on my health. So if at all possible, if you're a light sleeper like myself, then when you are researching places to stay in Southeast Asia, you might want to consider looking at if it's on a road, and if so, planning to visit maybe a couple streets back so you're not on a main thoroughway. We did also have probably the hardest stay in Vietnam was not knowing that our hotel was right next to a trucking stop, and that was just really loud, and there was nothing we could do about it. And I understand why they honk all the time. It's more for safety, awareness. Hey, I'm coming through. Hey, I'm passing. Hey, want to let you know that I'm here. But yeah, some of us are sensitive to that, so just a few little tips for you. In the end, I just wanted to share some of these things with you because yes, it's a wonderful, beautiful experience that we're having right now. We are very privileged, and I take none of that for granted, but you know, it might not always be putting you in the best state of health, mentally or physically. So just a few things to watch out for, and hopefully you can use some of my tips if you struggle with some of the same things.